Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be looking at messages from your person. There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Citrine, along with this card. Group 2 is the Amethyst point, along with this card. And group 3 is the Quartz point, along with this card. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Citrine, along with this card, which we'll take a look at the end. This will be some guidance from Spirit for you about this situation. So I'm going to start with some tarot and oracle cards to get kind of a feel of the current energies between you and this person, see what's going on, where they're at with things. Okay, so we have the 9 of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. 8 of Swords, so more of that air energy. 5 of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And the Tower, which is Aries. Also got the Oracle card, Rose Quartz. So this person is going through a lot of inner conflict, inner turmoil at this point in time. They may be going through some kind of a heart chakra activation, something that's weighing heavily on their heart. This could be communication that they are wanting to reach out to you with, something that has happened up to this point in the connection that they may have had a change of heart about. There's a lot of anxiety and a feeling of being really stuck, unable to move forward in some way. This could be because they have cut off communication with you. They have lost contact with you. They have chosen to move in another direction. And now with this change of heart, they're facing difficulties or some kind of an impasse with being able to re-enter your life, with being able to reach out with some sort of meaningful form of communication. There could be a lot of anxiety about opening that door as well. Kind of what lies on the other side of that. The certainty that should they come out of the silence, it would change everything between you in a very drastic way. Somebody who is yearning for that, yearning to turn the page in the situation, but again, kind of hesitant, very fearful about sort of what that would entail, what that would bring, for better or worse. A lot of anxiety about the possibility of rejection as well. Somebody who almost feels safer in the stance of silence, in the not knowing, feels safer kind of going over memories and times when maybe your attention towards them was very positive. You were very open towards this person. You were very receptive towards them. And whatever has happened up to this point in this connection, or whatever's going on currently, there's a sense of uncertainty that might be quite warranted within them about a potential guardedness that they might be faced with, or kind of a lack of a warm welcome that they might also encounter should they open that door with communication, should they reach out towards you. There's also a sense here of some kind of clarity coming to this person about feelings that they may have been denying for you for quite some time, that these things, they've harbored them within. These things haven't gone away, and something may have really come to their awareness. It could have to do with some kind of a spiritual awakening that happened for this person, some kind of information that they received maybe in the past that was almost misinformation or disinformation that had kind of skewed their perceptions on the circumstances. There's a sense of, with all these people kind of blindfolded and with their eyes averted in these cards, that this person was not operating with all the information the last time that they were dealing with you. This can also be somebody who was kind of deliberately ignoring the truth of their heart, the truth of the feelings that they had for you, the truth and the certainty that this connection had the potential to blossom into something very beneficial for the both of you. It might have been a connection that was outside of the box, outside of the ordinary for the type of partnerships that they had been used to dealing with, or in some way this connection was inviting them to switch course in their life in some way, to sort of change direction, to reimagine the future that they saw for themselves. And despite this sense of being very compelled toward you, very pulled towards you, they were almost choosing not to see, or were somehow obscured from the idea that on the other side of the chaos which would ensue, kind of the upheaval, maybe a lot of disruption, other connections that needed to fall away in your life or in their life or in both of your lives. Kind of a revelation or a change of circumstances, and sort of the certainty that to act upon this, to act upon these feelings would again change life as you know it for the both of you. There was a sense of not being able to see kind of around that corner, not trusting themselves fully, trusting their heart, and therefore kind of backing off from this connection previously. Where they are at currently, there still is a lot of uncertainty, which is kind of keeping them sort of in this energy of rumination. But there's a buildup that's happening where it's almost that they can no longer contain this. They can no longer deny these feelings. And they're now sitting in this stance of what to do. Should they reach out? Should they continue to kind of remain in the silence? Kind of this idea of leaving the past kind of where it is, a sense of worry about would it make matters worse? Should they reach out? Should they come towards you? With all this kind of blue also in this rose quartz card, this is definitely talking about a heart-to-heart conversation that this person wants to have with you, some kind of a declaration, something that has really become apparent to them, that the feelings they have for you have not dissipated over time. These things have only remained constant, or in fact grown stronger, almost reaching the boiling point with this tower energy here. And the more they try to stuff this down, the more they try to push this down, there's all these kind of subconscious reminders that are happening. There's all these signs that are coming in. There's this urge almost from their soul and from their higher self, pushing them beyond this comfort zone. With the Five of Wands, where there's a lot of resistance to that. They're very conflicted about again, how much longer can they kind of keep all of this stuff down within, and also this uncertainty, this kind of inner conflict, this inner turmoil about, are they at a place of readiness to be able to turn the page in the situation? Will they ever be at that point of readiness? Or there's a sense almost of kind of leaning into this energy of knowing that they need to act, knowing that the time will never be completely right, but to go on like this, carrying these feelings, carrying these unspoken words, some kind of an apology that might be as well. And the more time that kind of passes, it just adds to this level of anxiety. It almost makes matters worse. Kind of the further away they drift from you or they move from you. But again, this element of not really certain how to come forward. Maybe lines of communication have been kind of irreparably shut down. You might have moved, they might have moved. You could no longer have each other's contact information. You might not be accessible or easy to find on social media, for example. And so now that there is this urge, this awareness that they have that some sort of truth needs to come out, they're faced with these additional kind of obstacles that were almost of their own making and seem to have just kind of generated with the passing of time. And it's a fear that they are facing right now. Somebody that is very capable of kind of just taking that step, that first step, that baby step in the direction of sort of changing these circumstances, but they're not certain what lies on the other side of that. And so again, although this kind of sense is building within them, there's also this hesitation about how to move forward. What will that look like? And what lies on the other side of kind of knocking on that door? So I'm going to get some messages from their higher self for you now, group one, and see what do they want to tell you. Okay, and they say, you don't know how many times I've wanted to reach out to you. So that is definitely confirmation of this energy. Somebody who is finally starting to accept these feelings that they have for you, that they have had for some time. Somebody who is wanting to change the circumstances between the both of you, wanting to have that heart-to-heart conversation, but they're just not certain how to do that. Or there's a little bit of fear that's holding them back about the possible repercussions of that. They also say, I don't want to let you go. So this talks about this not being an out of sight, out of mind situation. Somebody who has continued to have feelings for you, even if it has been quite some time since you were last dealing with one another. They've been unable to move on, or attempts to move on have been very unsuccessful for them. They also say, I can't believe I worked so hard to get you and then I pushed you away. So this could be a lot of that rumination and a lot of that anxiety and distress that they are having, this realization that, they had this opportunity with somebody who was very good for them, a very good match, everything that they had been looking for in a partner. Maybe this is somebody who, had been having feelings for you for a while and had essentially manifested you into their reality, because, and kind of manifested this opportunity to kind of act upon these feelings, or manifested some kind of a connection with you, kind of everything they had ever wanted and desired, and for whatever reason got spooked and kind of moved the other way, or failed to really act on the opportunities that they were presented with, or the choice that they had made, kind of brought some destruction to this situation. And it's something that they, at the time that any of this happened, they were kind of blind to that. They were sort of oblivious to that, the long-term repercussions of whatever their behavior or conduct was in the past. And now kind of that idea of, with hindsight, that they're looking back and they are seeing that you are this wish fulfillment. You fulfill them at a soul level. And they had an opportunity with you. They had you in their life in a more concrete fashion at one point in time. And that the circumstances you both find yourselves in is really to do with some self-sabotage that was going on. So a lot of blame and anxiety in that regard that they're needing to push beyond. And they also say it took me a long time, but I'm starting not to care about what others think anymore. So this could have really had to do in the past, kind of the separation that ensued between you, the ghosting, the blocking, this person moving away or running from you in this connection could have had to do with something about the nature of the connection being a little unconventional. People in their life maybe disapproving of the connection, disapproving of you, having other ideas for them about the type of partner that would be best suited for them. Something about the nature of the circumstances that might have been kind of taboo between the both of you, and this really being a deciding factor for them that they are now regretting. They are starting to move beyond that. It feels like a gradual process, a slow process of asserting themselves in other ways, starting to really move from that heart space as opposed to kind of with the concern of what others would think or how things would look to them. They also say, I feel bad for how I left things between us after all we have shared. So they are recognizing this very unique bond between the both of you, and again, almost kicking themselves for the opportunity that they had with you, the chance that was missed, that was not acted upon, or actions that were taken that kind of led to the collapse of this situation in the past. And we also have I blame myself. So again, they are being hard on themselves over what has happened. Somebody who might have kind of tried to project blame onto you in the past is really starting to accept responsibility for the circumstances you find yourselves in, and how a lot of that is due to kind of fear and this energy of being almost oblivious or deliberately kind of turning a blind eye to the truth, the true nature and depth of the feelings that they had for you in the past and still have for you. And they also say, I'm sorry. So they are knowing an apology is owed. Something needs to be changed and shifted in this circumstance, and it really needs to start with action on their part. And we have fear held me back. So again, another confirmation of that, the opinions of others, this uncertainty about the gravity of this love, this very intense connection that you share with each other, and kind of what lies on the other side of that, this knowing that to step fully into this, to open fully to this connection, has the potential and had the potential to change both of your lives in some pretty major ways. A sense of no turning back once this connection was really fully embraced. And while there was this desire for this, there's also a bit of hesitation, stepping outside of their comfort zone, or maybe even someone who really had kind of a fear of commitment, even a fear of intimacy, that as much as they wanted this connection, they wanted you, they were deeply attracted to you, they felt this deep soul connection with you, they almost got cold feet when it came time to kind of taking that next step or continuing with that. And they say mistakes are the soul's lessons. So somebody who's reflecting a lot about what happened in the past and is really starting to, again, gain that perspective that in a lot of ways they have themselves to blame for what has happened in this circumstance. This feels like somebody that if given the opportunity, they would do things very differently. Someone who wishes that they could almost turn back time and make different choices. And they say, I miss you. So again, not out of sight, out of mind. You are definitely residing in a place that is very special within their heart. They may be getting signs about you. They've been having dreams about you, some other kind of reminders about you. Maybe they have looked you up online, or they have found you. This could have been somebody who was even searching for you for a while, searching for you on social media, searching for your contact information, and coming up against these kind of dead ends with that idea of they've wanted to reach out to you so many times, and maybe have either again gotten cold feet, kind of backed off from that, or been unable to, been unsuccessful in that sense. For some of you, it feels that some kind of a revelation has happened, some kind of information has come to this person. They have found your contact information. They have found you after all this time. Maybe they have run into somebody that knows you, and so they've gotten some information about you, what you've been up to, where you're living. And somebody who, with kind of what they're hearing about changes that have happened in your life, it's really making them miss you. It's really making them think back on kind of the good times you shared, and things that got in the way, predominantly themselves and decisions that they made, fear that held them back. There's a sense of missing the closeness you once shared, and kind of times before everything fell apart. Okay, and they say, I want commitment with you, but just not yet. So that is that idea of someone with a fear of commitment, fear of intimacy. This might have been kind of an issue between you in the past that they are needing to address, to really work through. Somebody who is cognizant of that, this element of hesitation where they want this so much. Their heart is open. They are feeling you very tangibly in that heart space. They're feeling you energetically. There is this pull, this draw to find you, to seek you out, to reach out if that is a possibility for them, to unblock that communication, to speak their truth, to make this known. But then also kind of this element of knowing that to do that, to turn that page, to take that first step would change everything for you, for the both of you forever. And so as much as they are wanting this, they are also really held back from that in a major way at this point in time. They also say, I'm being subliminal with how I feel about you. So they could be posting things on social media, little kind of clues or indications that they're thinking about you, things that, maybe are reminiscent of kind of some inside jokes that you shared, or things that are significant to the both of you. Somebody who's kind of being very indirect about their feelings, again, kind of on that brink of communication, on that brink of really speaking some kind of truth, but just not at that place where they have the courage yet to state that directly. And it feels that this is also adding to an element of frustration with this person, very frustrated at themselves. Why can't they just speak this truth? Why can't they just take a chance on this connection, on making some kind of a declaration, on making their feelings known? And they say, I act happy, but I'm not. So this person could again be posting on social media, other people that they are spending time with, other things that are going on in their life, trying to act as if nothing is phasing them, nothing has bothered them, that they are very content with where they are in their life. But under the surface, there's quite a different story that's going on. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of regret. There's a lot of rumination. There's a sense of really something very important missing from their life, and that something being this connection. And they say, I hold back because I don't want to be rejected. So confirmation of that energy where they have this deep desire to speak some truth to you, to open those lines of communication, to step forth out of the shadows, out of that energy of kind of lurking on the sidelines. But at the same time, they're not certain how you will receive them. This is somebody who's thinking a lot about what has happened in the past, maybe things that they said or done that they have done that they understand will necessarily need to be addressed. These elephants in the room, some difficult conversations that might need to take place before you're able to clean the slate with one another. There's a sense too of the more time that goes by, they're knowing that it will be more difficult to kind of reopen these lines of communication. And as much as they want to, they're very realistic about sort of what was done in the past, the feelings that kind of left you with, to sit with, to work through, to come to peace with, to come to terms with. And so there's a sense of uncertainty about if they even have the ability to repair this situation. And it's that uncertainty and that fear which is kind of still keeping them kind of back in the shadows. They also say, I have a gift for you. So this can refer to an apology, some kind of truth, some kind of vindication, feelings that were never spoken or that were, denied, or that they, changed their mind about or claim to have changed their mind about in the past. A sense of really wanting to right those wrongs, to let you know the truth about how they have felt for you the whole time, how you have never been far from their mind, you have never not been in their heart. They want to present maybe even some kind of a tangible gift to you, somebody who wants to turn up at your door with flowers or make some kind of a very public proclamation about their feelings for you, their interest in sort of restarting things between the both of you, turning the page on this connection. But again, this element of fear that is kind of holding them back, still a little bit of fear about what other people will think, this fear of rejection, somebody who's just needing to kind of dive into this situation, but they're at that place of not necessarily being ready to do that just yet. So I'm going to take a look at this card for you now. Group 1, this will be the guidance from Spirit about this situation. And it says, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. So this is some great advice for everything that came out in this reading for you, Group 1, to just really allow this person to sit in that element of fear. It's a very necessary kind of threshold that they are needing to cross. This is part of that idea of lessons for them, to sit with that sense of discouragement, that sense of frustration, to allow that pressure to build within them. As much as you may, feel them energetically, you may feel very compelled to reach out. There's a sense of this person needing to be the one to make this situation right. This person needing to be the one to make the first move, to cross that threshold of fear and to speak some kind of truth, some kind of declaration, in order to really open up those lines of communication and that exchange between the both of you. And when you allow this person that time and space to kind of work up that courage on their own, that is also a gift of love that you are giving them. It's, kind of taking that pressure off, holding that space of unconditional love that doesn't, expect results or demand, but simply allows for what will come in divine timing. So continuing to do that for this person, continuing to love yourself in other ways, focus on things that, bring you a sense of joy, continuing to focus on potential other horizons in love if that is something that you feel drawn to do, not waiting in place, not putting your life on hold for this person to act, but really allowing them that time and space to make the choice to come out of this energy of fear, or if it's something that they choose to remain in, also, again, not putting your life on hold while you wait for a change within them. So I'm going to get some initials for you now, Group 1, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got H, Z, I, J, X, C, T, E, S, K, M, W, and G. So those are your messages, Group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. When you do that, it helps the video to reach others who might resonate with these messages, get some kind of peace or confirmation with what came through, and it also helps my channel to grow, so I deeply appreciate that. If you would like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry, dreamcatchers, and suncatchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Amethyst point along with this card, which will be the guidance from Spirit. So we'll take a look at that at the end. I'm going to start with some tarot and oracle cards to get kind of a feel of the current energies between you and this person, some clues about what's going on with them. Okay, so we have the Four of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Ten of Swords, air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The Chariot, which is Cancer energy. The Devil, which is Capricorn. And Dreaming of You. So this person could definitely be thinking about you in a very passionate way with the Devil and dreaming of you, meeting up a lot in dreams, exchanging a lot of very intense energy between the both of you. This person could be kind of experiencing a Kundalini awakening at this point in time, or that's kind of the nature of that sort of energy exchange between the both of you with the Chariot kind of across a distance. It feels very, very tangible. Somebody who is very much aware of the energetic bond between the both of you in real time. Somebody who is, kind of almost obsessing over that. Kind of why are they having these feelings for you? Why are they having these thoughts of you? Why are they dreaming of you? Something that is very much alluring to them. Almost this element of kind of a guilty pleasure, but at the same time, it's adding a lot of confusion to them. Somebody who's really taking some time to need to sit with this, to meditate on this, to really examine and explore kind of the larger implications of that. With the Ten of Swords, this can talk about a lot of defeating thoughts that they are having as well. A lot of fears and doubts about sort of if this is all in their head or if this is something, real and worth exploring and what to do with all of this. Somebody who's looking back on maybe in the past and sort of the energy that the two of you had exchanged together and how this was next level, how the experiences with them in a physical sense or even just spiritually really transported the both of you to a different kind of understanding and experience of what is possible in an exchange between two people, both in a physical sense and even remotely, even energetically, and the ways in which they may have turned away from that, turned their back on this connection, chosen to go in another direction, explore other connections, or even choosing to remain single or choosing not to invest more fully or to continue investing in this connection. There's a sense of they have not been able to really replicate what they have experienced with you. This is something that has stayed with them. This is something where they've not been able to forget you. They've not been able to really get you out of their mind. They keep feeling your energy. They keep feeling these surges that are kind of drawing their attention back towards you. They keep meeting up with you in the dream space. And it feels like something which, again, it's almost, it kind of borders on an element of negativity for them, but also a guilty pleasure, to where kind of that idea of the negativity is the sense of the disappointments they might have experienced when trying to connect with other people subsequent to this connection with you, or just the time that they have spent really apart, away from you. It's filled them with this sense of defeat, almost as if they moved away from something which it's a next level connection. It's more intense than what they had ever experienced with another person before. And it's something that has stayed with them. It is burned in their mind. It is burned into their memory. They can't escape these thoughts. They can't escape these memories. And almost this element of fixation that they have on really trying to uncover the nature of this, and sort of why they made the choice in the past to move away from you, from this connection. A lot of intensity here with that as well, to where even just they are starting to come to that realization that kind of that fear of a next level experience with something, which is very unique. It's something that they are really enjoying, that they've been able to encounter even on a very just kind of temporary level, or to even have touched upon or know this experience at all. But there's a sense of the fact that they chose to move away from that this was really stemming from almost being a little bit uncertain or fearful of that, of the nature of that, of the ways in which this connection and the energy between the both of you had the potential to really overwhelm a lot of other areas of their life. They may have found themselves obsessing about you, really almost addicted to your energy and to the exchanges between the both of you, which had caused them to kind of need to pull back, need to kind of refocus, or sort of feeling that the connection had the possibility to derail some other things that they were working on, that this connection really kind of took them away from some goals that they were focused toward, or had the ability to, they almost are feeling that they didn't want to lose themselves completely to this connection. They felt themselves dissolving into this, and it felt very good. It felt very, again, kind of otherworldly or next level, but there was an element of fear that on the other side of that dissolving, what would then coagulate? What would kind of grow out of that? Who would they be on the other side of this very transformational connection, both in terms of experience and the energies exchanged between the both of you? A lot of activations, again, this kind of energy of a Kundalini awakening, and how it was making this person, and still is, more aware of themselves as an energetic being, more aware of their energetic body, really maybe even bringing forth some unhealed kind of triggers or wounds from their emotional body that, through this energy exchange are needing to be addressed, needing to be purged. A lot of kind of instances in the past also of defeat that might have been really sort of triggered for them, ways in which they, had invested themselves, maybe rushing in too quickly into romantic situations with others, only to be, really left with not a lot to base in reality, not a tangible foundation, something that, burned very intensely, but then burned out very quickly. And so a fear, or hesitation that they had in the past of kind of repeating that cycle, repeating that same mistake. And through that process of fear, they have essentially then moved beyond something that's almost a dream come true. And there's a realization of that, somebody who's really questioning that, exploring that, somebody who it feels is almost deliberately tapping into this, trying to touch you energetically, trying to really, kind of lean into this, where in the past they may have moved away from it. But this idea of the chariot and movement and dreaming, this could be somebody who's also astral projecting to you, or trying to kind of project their consciousness to you, again, kind of trying to reach out and touch upon you energetically, to explore this dynamic, explore this energy, almost in kind of a cloaked manner, without coming out directly and speaking to you about this, comparing notes, or really being open about it. It feels that they feel most comfortable very consciously and deliberately sort of doing this at an energetic level, where they feel that they're kind of cloaked in an element of secrecy, but it feels that the energy exchange between the both of you, that it's not so secret what they are doing. There could be a lot of telepathy that's going on between you, a lot of signs and indications that you're getting, which if you're looking for confirmation, this could be that if you're dreaming about this person a lot, you're feeling them energetically, you're feeling this telepathy, that is a definite, sign. It's a confirmation that they are actively sort of investing in thoughts of you. They are actively attempting to reach out to you energetically, maybe even to sort of test the waters. Somebody who could also be meditating, attempting to get in touch with your higher self from that space. Again, before they are kind of equipped or willing to reach out in a material sense in the 3D world, they're doing all of this energetically. Somebody who's very consciously aware of the energy exchange between the both of you currently in real time, and that this is a point of curiosity, like, why is this still happening? What's the nature of this? Somebody who sees this as very significant and different from other types of experiences and kind of energy exchanges that they've had with others in their life. So I'm going to get some messages from their higher self for you now, group 2, and see what do they want to say. Okay, and they say the truth is I'm scared to tell you the truth. So again, somebody who might feel better in this almost kind of a sneaky energy of just tapping in energetically, kind of from the shadows, thinking about you, reaching out energetically, but not really wanting to necessarily step forth and to let you know that they've been thinking about you. They've been trying to astral project to you. They've been investing heavily in thoughts of you, that they still feel this intense connection to you, this intense attraction to you. That they do feel all of this kind of energetic vibration and this exchange between the both of you. The telepathy is experienced by them. The dreams are experienced by them. This kundalini energy, this activation, this awakening has been mutually experienced. And they say, I need my space right now. So again, somebody who's trying to kind of figure all this out, think about all this, find some answers. Somebody who may be even kind of researching these concepts of soul connections, telepathy, kundalini energy, awakening, and they just need time to process that and to digest that. They feel safest in the silence right now. But also not wanting to remain in kind of a removed energy. Somebody who almost with that chariot and that energy of movement, that their thoughts have shifted back towards you. They have changed their perspective. Their perspective is changing through the experiences that they are having and the information that they are getting, but they still need time to kind of get a grasp on this, get a handle on this, master some skills and abilities, or come into a deeper understanding of sort of the nature of this connection and what that means for them as an individual. And they also say it took me a long time, but I'm starting not to care about what others think anymore. So maybe the intensity of this bond, this connection that is very different from what they had come to know of love and partnerships, was different from the ways that others around them had described the nature of connection or what they had experienced in love and romance in other areas of their life. And kind of that otherness had caused them to pull back from this, to kind of be fearful of this or skeptical of this connection. But it's something that is really starting to shift. They're starting to appreciate this very unique, otherworldly quality. And they also say, I'm set in my ways. So somebody who is very stubborn, very slow to change, somebody who had some very definite and fixed ideas about the nature of partnership. And there's a sense that when you entered the equation, when you entered their life, when the two of you really collided and started exchanging energy, that this has caused some kind of a shakeup within this person, that they are trying to hold on to this rigidity, remaining kind of in that denser energy of fear, with what kind of choosing what was familiar to them, what was their idea of normal in terms of the nature of partnerships. And that this has been somebody who has been very, very slow and stubborn to kind of change that, to open their mind, to open to the reality of something beyond what they had experienced or had imagined for themselves. But it feels like sort of the continuity of this energy exchange between the both of you, and the separation, the silence, the telepathy, the dreams, the kundalini energy, the energy exchange, that this is almost kind of breaking down those barriers from the inside out. They also say people are starting to notice that I am not my normal self. So with all of this energy exchange, which may have been increasing recently with you and this person, there's a lot of shifts that are happening internally, and people are starting to notice a change in their vibration. This could be resulting in kind of some chaotic energy with maybe some karmic partnerships that they are involved in. That can be friends, family, coworkers, just things that they were involved in that they no longer are very interested in. They're no longer able to kind of match these people's vibration, or the vibration of things that they had been invested in. and that it's causing some kind of a disruption, so that the more that this person is being activated, that they're exploring, they're kind of moving out of this very set and fixed and stubborn energy into kind of this fluid state where they're taking in information, they're opening their mind, and this might be outside of the comfort zone of others around them, people starting to notice that, starting to be almost very triggered by that, the evolution that is happening within this person, because it's something that these other people or these other circumstances, they don't hold that within themselves. They have not done that work or been touched in that way to really be on that path, on that trajectory to ascension. And so this could be something that's also manifesting with, again, kind of a lot of chaos and conflict in other areas of this person's life, a lot of kind of toxicity that they may be needing to move away from, or a lot of relationships and circumstances that resonated with them at a certain vibration, but as that vibration is raising, they're finding that they are no longer in resonance with these people and these circumstances. This can also talk about somebody who's very distracted by these thoughts of you and feeling into this connection, and that is noticeable by people that they have in their life. And they say, through my lessons, I've become stronger and wiser. So this is that energy of evolution. Somebody who is really taking the time to search within, to do some research. Somebody who it feels like they are stepping into a different energy than you had been dealing with in the past. Somebody who might have been kind of fearful or overwhelmed by the connection, who is becoming stronger through this, who is better able to handle the energy exchange between the both of you. Somebody who is no longer necessarily running from this as much, but is really taking the time to turn and look at it, to face it, to explore it, to digest it, to experiment with it. And they say, my heart aches to reconcile. So the further that they get away from that point of intersection where everything felt so magical between the both of you, in real time you were exchanging energy with one another, really sort of inspiring one another, having that telepathy, having that kundalini energy, exchange and really sort of experiencing this very electric and magnetic connection with one another. As they have moved away from that, it's this feeling of desolation. They've not been able to experience that with anyone else subsequent to this connection. There's a sense too of, as they're reflecting, that they're starting to really value and appreciate the very unique quality of what you share. They also say, we have had many lifetimes together. So this can be a past life soulmate. This can also resonate as a twin flame. These can be ideas that this person is really exploring as they're starting to go down these different rabbit holes about why they are feeling what they are feeling for you, what is happening within them. Somebody who might be kind of embarking upon a spiritual path or looking into these ideas about awakening and ascension, and ideas about past lives may have also come to their attention that is resonating with them, a sense of familiarity that they have with you that they've not been able to shake. And it's drawing them really back towards you as well, the sense of home that they feel with you. They also say, be the best you can be. So this talks also about this person really starting to turn a corner in a very positive way, starting to work with this energy as opposed to fighting against this connection. And it feels like something, again, they feel safer kind of in this removed energy as this process of kind of transmutation and evolution is taking place within them. And they say, open your heart. So this can talk about heart chakra activations that are happening. Again, that kundalini energy exchange that has really activated something. It has touched them in that heart space. Somebody who might have been kind of spooked by the connection, a little bit kind of freaked out about the nature of the energy between the both of you. And they're becoming more open towards that. Somebody who's starting to appreciate that more. Somebody who, in this process of kind of exploration and research and sort of dabbling almost with the energy exchange between the both of you, with the telepathy, with the astral projection, maybe even trying to manifest a new opportunity with you, kind of learning about law of attraction and all of that. There is this sense almost of the more that they are opening their heart and their mind and their eyes to the situation, they are really starting to come into this awareness that they are hoping that when they kind of work up that courage to step out of the shadowy energy, or their manifestations come to fruition and there is an opportunity to have some kind of direct contact with you, face-to-face contact with you, or they work up the courage to initiate that. There is this hope that you will be open to hearing their perspective, to hearing what they have learned and how they have evolved, and that you two can have some kind of a fresh beginning with one another. And they say, I'm being subliminal with how I feel about you. So that is, again, that kind of sneaky and cloaked energy, somebody who feels most comfortable in the shadows, not coming right out and declaring that this energy exchange is real, that they are feeling you in real time, that they are, recognizing this very unique bond between the both of you. Somebody who might be kind of posting things that are sort of suggestive about that, hinting at this on social media. If this is somebody that you have some kind of a degree of contact with in the physical world, they might even be making kind of little suggestions, things kind of slipping out accidentally that are revealing a deeper awareness of the nature of this connection than they had really let on in the past. Somebody who is kind of, again, just sort of being sort of sneaky with their approach to this, and not sneaky in a bad way, but just trying to kind of feel things out in that sort of comfort zone. But a major kind of shift has happened where they are no longer turning away from this. This is someone who is examining this energy. They're examining this dynamic. They're experimenting with this to kind of see how deep does this go? How far and how much in real time, how tangible is this, the ability to communicate with you in kind of these unconventional ways. And they say, I've been having dreams of you. So there's that confirmation again of dreams, the two of you meeting up in the astral realm. Some very significant dreams, very prophetic dreams, maybe even dreams of past lives that have really stuck with this person, days or even weeks, months, perhaps even years, depending on how long you've kind of been in this circumstance of being at a distance from one another, that are starting to really come to their awareness that these are more than just dreams. These are actual tangible interactions with one another in that space. This also talks about the idea of dreaming about a fresh start with you, or some, turning of the page, some kind of a new chapter in this situation. Somebody who's really equipping themselves with knowledge and a deeper understanding of what it is that they're feeling, and kind of how the ramifications of that, what that means for them, what they want to do with that moving forward, and kind of dreaming of moving out of this space of kind of staying in that cloaked energy. Somebody who's dreaming of having that courage, creating that opportunity, taking that step forward to kind of step out into the light to speak some kind of truth to you. They also say, I've been hurting without you. You have no idea. So they have really been missing you, particularly the more that they are feeling the energy exchange between you very intensely. Even after having dreams of you, they may be waking up and, just feeling this kind of melancholy, this longing, this urge to, take this into the physical realm, to move out of this sort of energetic dance that the two of you are doing. Somebody who wants this to manifest in the flesh, somebody who wants that face-to-face contact, wants to have that conversation with you, wants to be in your presence, in your proximity, wants to kind of come from the outskirts of your life, or only being in your life in an energetic sense, to really making some solid progress toward developing something, a new beginning, or something more than you currently have in the material world. They also say, I am not blind to the signs, I do see them. So if you've been seeing a lot of signs, a lot of angel numbers, this person is also getting these things. You are very much both in tandem in terms of the dreams, in terms of the telepathy, in terms of the energy exchange, the signs that you are getting. Somebody who is exploring this very quietly, very internally. Somebody who may also have a lot of other circumstances going on where in their life where just coming out with this directly, that the timing isn't right for that. There's other circumstances that kind of interfere or are in the way of them taking those action steps towards you. So they're kind of needing to do this in sort of a stealthy manner, do this internally, come to that point of certainty, create some kind of a plan, come to a greater understanding before they can move forward. They also say, I have options, but I only want you. So this can tie in with, other people that are in their life that they are no longer resonating with. There is this urge, this pull back in your direction. This can also talk about somebody who may have chosen to, move out of this, away from this connection, out of this circumstance, choosing to just kind of play the field or to be single. And that none of that is resonating for them. They've not been able to really replicate the experience with you in another connection. And it's only led to this sense of melancholy and nostalgia, longing for that closeness, this otherworldly, this electric and magnetic bond that the two of you share. So I'm going to take a look at this card for you now, group 2. This will be the guidance from Spirit about the situation. And it says, wait, don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. So this is great guidance for everything that came through here, where this person is really needing some time to kind of digest everything, to do this exploration, to do this experimentation, kind of in their own time and in their own way. They are definitely aware. They have turned a corner in some major way as far as their understanding and their experience and their willingness to admit to themselves first and foremost the feelings that they have for you and the experience of this connection. This is a very necessary first step to them taking action in a material sense. So while the energetic exchange between you, the dreams, the telepathy, it might be so intense that you're feeling this urge of reaching out to them. If you feel guided to do that, if you feel that that's the right thing to do, obviously follow your own intuition, your own guidance first and foremost. But through this reading, what this is saying is that this person still needs time to kind of grasp this, to grapple with these concepts, to do more research, to come into this deeper understanding of what this means for the two of you in the future, what this means about, them as an individual, what is being activated, what is being, really awakened within them, how they are starting to perceive themselves, not just as a physical being, but as an energetic being, as a spiritual being, as a soul having a human experience. And this period of kind of learning and expectation is very necessary for them to grow out of some circumstances that might be operating as blocks and wedges between you, to grow out of a particular skin that they were wearing, a density, a vibration that they were holding, and to step into that elevated version of self, that best version of self, in order to really present something that is tangible and meaningful to you in the future, something you both can build upon going forward. So I'm going to get some initials for you now, group 2. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got N, V, S, W, D, G, A, Z, H, P, M, T, F, C, I, O, and U. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. When you do that, it helps the reading to reach others who might resonate with these messages, get some kind of peace or confirmation from what came through, and it also helps my channel to grow, so I deeply appreciate that. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry, dreamcatchers, and suncatchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the Quartz along with this card, which I will take a look at the end. This will be some guidance from Spirit. I'm going to start with some tarot and oracle cards to see what's going on with this person and this connection, kind of some clues about where they are at. Okay, so we have Death, which is Scorpio. Seven of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Nine of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Two of Swords, so more air energy. And Power. So with Death, this is the energy of endings, but also of new beginnings. It feels that this person is also, with the Seven of Swords, being a little bit sneaky about, maybe watching you from afar, dreaming of a new beginning with you, maybe planning that, kind of trying to orchestrate that. Somebody who could be watching you from a fake profile, asking around about you, trying to, kind of do some research on you in a way that is not open and that is not direct. But somebody who is wanting, with that Power card, to really breathe life back into this connection. Somebody who is recognizing that you might be a little bit hesitant to take them back, or to be very open-minded about what they have to say based on the nature of what has occurred. This idea of kind of a final ending between the both of you. A sense that to open the door to this connection again would require almost a reimagining of the energies that you had been in before, to reincarnate this connection in a new form, that it would require a different approach on their part. The methods that they had taken previously would not work going forward, and so it's requiring a little kind of work behind the scenes, or to kind of get a little bit creative and imaginative about how to really do this, how to really breathe life back into this situation. With this idea of Nine of Wands and also Two of Swords, which is kind of a blocked off energy, communication could directly be blocked between the both of you, and so there's something where you wouldn't suspect that this person is kind of looking you up online, or watching you from a distance, watching you from afar. For all the sort of impressions that they have given you, they are uninterested in generating something out of this. It's been a final ending, and that they're very much comfortable with that. You may also feel that they are very guarded, they are very blocked off, very close-minded to you. But there's a sense of this being, there's something being more than meets the eye with that what they're projecting to you or presenting to you is merely a facade, that there's a lot going on beneath the surface. There's something that is stirring within them. There's something that's coming back to life within them. That this might be it might be very necessary for them to still kind of keep that rigid stance up while they are trying to kind of figure out how to approach you in a different energy. An understanding of some changes that are needing to take place and that are taking place within themselves as well, in terms of kind of the ways in which there might have been kind of an imbalance in the power dynamic, a lack of reciprocity in this connection previously, that this person is recognizing needs to change and needs to shift in order to really entertain the idea of a new beginning. With kind of this imagery here on this Two of Swords, and she's holding the swords behind her back, as opposed to typical decks where those swords are kind of up as like a barricade. This is talking about somebody who's bringing that barricade down, somebody who may have even unblocked your number, unblocked the communication with you, but they haven't reached out yet. You're not aware that that has happened. Or if you've been sending messages to them and not getting any kind of a response, this can really talk about that they have received these messages. This has registered with them. Some kind of a closed off stance that they might have had is kind of loosening. with the yin yang here on her dress. This can really talk about twin flame energy, somebody who is recognizing you as their counterpart, as the yin to their yang, somebody who may have moved off in another direction, only to come full circle back to the realization that this connection is in fact kind of the truth. This connection is the real deal. This connection is something which, you know, from other connections that they've been in, or even just kind of walking through the world in their own kind of energy, kind of being that kind of warrior in the world, that sort of lone wolf energy, that has only gotten them so far. They've come back around to this understanding that the two of you are better together, that they feel more empowered in your presence. They feel more empowered, having kind of the dynamic between the both of you being different from what it was. But there are some necessary hurdles that are needing to be overcome, some things that are needing to be addressed, talked about, put to rest, put to a close before the possibility of something new can kind of come out of this. So this is an energy of somebody loosening their stance, somebody who's seeing things from a different angle, a different perspective, somebody who may have also been in this process of kind of taking their power back from other situations that had been a wedge or a barrier, an obstacle to you in the past, to this connection continuing. Some battles, some inner demons that they were fighting, that in a lot of ways they have successfully kind of overcome some of these things, but it has left them almost in a stance of being a little bit wary about kind of opening up to a new beginning, a sense of, are they ready? Is this, you know, there's this desire to have this new beginning, but this kind of fear about what if things fall apart again? What if, you know, some things that had been triggered the last time around that they had worked through, you know, what else is left to be triggered? A sense of not wanting to necessarily step fully back into this, only to have the same results repeat themselves. So a little bit of uncertainty as well within them, but somebody who's definitely loosened their stance, somebody who's starting to take another look at this connection in a roundabout way. Internally, they're starting to really recognize and take ownership for, you know, maybe some wounds within themselves, fears of intimacy, some lingering and residual kind of heartbreak that they'd been carrying around with them from, you know, ghosts of their past that had interfered with this situation and with what was able to blossom and develop between the both of you. Somebody who's really taking their power back from these things, creating closure and endings in that sense, which the more that they are doing that, it is kind of opening up their energy to being able to receive and to give in this connection in a more reciprocal and healthy manner than they had in the past. So I'm going to get some messages from their higher self now, group 3, and see what do they want to tell you. Okay, and they say, I have considered leaving it all behind and heading straight to you, but I don't know if I can handle the consequences. So somebody who might have really incurred some substantial heartbreaks in their past, that has almost operated as kind of the ghost of the past, this lingering kind of fear of commitment, or this hesitation about if they invest fully in this connection and it falls apart, what's left. Somebody who has this urge to move back towards you, but is still needing to kind of operate out of that shadowy energy. There's still this degree of uncertainty. There's still some cycles that are needing to be closed out before they feel fully ready to kind of breathe life back into this connection, to reinvigorate this or reimagine the dynamic between you. They also say, I've realized that I want you and I don't want to be a player anymore. So if they had chosen, you know, maybe even some kind of a third party, or chosen to just kind of play the field as opposed to investing in this connection before, they'd kind of maybe block themselves off to, you know, the nature of a serious commitment that had been on the table in this situation. It has really left them at a sense of loss. This is somebody who has, you know, kind of wandered the world and really only been confronted with shadows. It's something that has left them with a feeling of loss, with a feeling of desolation. It's something that they are recognizing within themselves. They've almost outgrown that period of their life. And as they are now entering into some kind of a new phase where they're, you know, thinking more seriously about the future. And it again all comes back to this connection to you, that this connection was the real deal. That if there's anyone that really kind of adequately matches them, is that yin to that yang, a very challenging and yet empowering connection. It's this connection. They also say, I can't listen to music right now because I hear you through songs. So the two of you could really be speaking to each other through music at this time. There could be a lot of significant songs that In times past, they kind of listened to, and it brought up certain feelings, it evoked certain memories in them, but there's a sense of longing and nostalgia for you that makes it very difficult to even revisit those things. And something about that, there's still a degree of kind of avoidance that is going on within this person. Again, some shadows, things that were really triggered between you previously that they've worked through, and this hesitation to fully open this door to the connection again, to a new chapter, to a new beginning. There's a sense of they don't want to write any more sad songs with you. They want this to be a love song that has a very happy ending, a very uplifting kind of vibration to it, but a sense of not knowing if they are necessarily ready internally or in their life to be able to bring that, harmony to this connection, to be able to kind of soothe some of the chaos, to kind of bring you some sort of peace of mind, to heal some wounds within you, knowing that they need to kind of do some more healing work within themselves before they can kind of be a very productive presence to you. They also say, my family looks up to me and I feel like I can't let them down. So this can relate to kind of an expectation about a type of partner they're supposed to be with, or a certain way that their life is supposed to look. Maybe this person is, involved in some kind of a family business, or there's pressure about some kind of a legacy that they need to sort of fall in line with, some big shoes that they need to fill, some expectations about what love and partnership looks like that this connection in some way is in a direct contrast to. And it's keeping them in kind of that fear, in that comfort zone. It's the shadow that they're needing to confront and work through in order to really act from a place of heart-centered awareness, to step into their own power, to take their power back from the opinions of others, and almost this sense of obligation or duty that they may have to other people who don't really resonate. It's a path that doesn't resonate with who they are authentically, and who they have come to know themselves as through this activation and this awakening and awareness that has really happened through this connection. They also say, sometimes at night, I think about the times we've spent together. So this kind of ties in with that idea of Seven of Swords and kind of being a little sneaky, or, sort of operating behind the scenes, being kind of covert in the ways in which they are choosing to investigate or invest in this connection. Maybe, spending time at night looking you up online, looking up pictures of you, thinking of you in the past. It's a sense of the two of you also really connecting, maybe in dreams or in that kind of twilight hour, some kind of darkness that they are in as well, kind of a dark night of the soul energy, as they are really starting to realize that their life felt brighter with you in it, and in this distance that they've created, and the distance that has grown over time, there's a sense of longing for that to return to kind of the light of the connection, the bond that you two shared at one point in time. Okay, and they say, I miss you. So again, that energy of nostalgia, thinking back on times that you've shared together, and really longing for that, longing to kind of move back into the sunshine of this connection, to walk through some kind of shadow or some kind of valley that they are in, to kind of put an end to these endings that are happening, or this period of things being really blocked off and really cut off between the both of you. Somebody who's loosening their stance, opening their heart, opening their mind to the idea of kind of rejuvenation or a new beginning in this situation. And they say, surrender to the present feeling. So they are, again, not really running from this connection anymore as much as they were before. They've come full circle. They've let down their guard to a certain extent. They're bringing down those barriers. This is somebody who's surrendering to the reality that no matter how far they have tried to run or how much they've tried to escape these feelings, it all comes back to you. And they say, open your heart. So there is this hope, this desire that when they've closed out certain cycles, when those walls are brought down fully, when that communication is unblocked, when they make that attempt and reach out, that you will be open to the idea of reconciliation, open to giving this connection another chance, open to hearing the changes that they have made, some cycles they've closed out, some things they've moved away from that were very necessary in order for a fresh start between you. And they say our love is protected. So they hold you in a very sacred space within them. This also kind of ties into kind of this energy of sort of working behind the scenes, not wanting to allow other people, maybe even their family who really disapproved of this connection, or friends who are like family, people that they don't want to judge this situation, maybe who judged you unfairly in the past, and that really led to this person pulling away or putting up their guard against diving deeper into the situation or continuing to invest in it. But there's a sense of cherishing this connection, setting you apart from all others that they have experienced before or since, and really keeping that in a very sacred and special place within them while they are in the midst of kind of fighting some of these other battles in their life. And they also say trust. So they are really wanting you to trust that the current circumstances between you is not the end of the story. Trust that they are working on things behind the scenes, even if you don't have a lot of evidence about that in a material sense. Trust what you feel in your heart. Trust what you know at a soul level. Trust that whatever these obstacles and barriers are between you, that in time and in the right manner, that these things will be overcome. Okay, and they say the thought of explaining myself and apologizing scares me. I don't want to see the pain I have caused in your eyes. So holding back from reaching out because of the painful ending, the long and perhaps unnecessary silence that has occurred between you, maybe choosing the opinions of others, deferring toward relationships that were easier, that were more comfortable, that were more in their comfort zone. And by doing that, they essentially move themselves away from the vibration of true love, from a partnership and a situation that really resonated with them on all levels, mind, body, and soul. And in the silence and in the separation, as difficult and as painful as this has been, as wounded as you feel, as much as you've really had to kind of pick up the pieces and create some kind of new normal for yourself out of these circumstances, this feels very much like an experience that this person has really felt remotely. There's an empathic bond between the both of you. They have felt your pain. They have felt the tears that have been cried. They understand that they are, a major contributor to that, and that it is necessary to kind of move beyond this. There is this urge to again step back into the sunlight of this connection, to come out of this shadowy vibration, but they're holding themselves back, not really being sure at this point if they have what it takes to provide you with something of substance and meaning and value that can really help to repair a lot of these wounds, soothe a lot of these wounds, and somebody who might also be kind of holding themselves at bay, not wanting to make matters worse in the situation. And they say it feels like something missing without you around. So they are really missing your presence. Again, a sense of having moved away from truth, from true love, from the person that really fits with them, mind, body, and soul. It's something where you have remained in their heart. You have remained with them. They have thought about you as much as they might have been kind of, blocked off to this, and really presenting that kind of outside appearance of not being interested, in a fresh start with you, being very unbothered, not thinking about you, having moved forward in their life in other ways. There's a sense of emptiness that has really filled them, is a sense of having carved out something from themselves, a part of their soul that they have not been able to get back, that has been missing. And the further away from this connection in you that they have moved, the more acute that void, or that kind of element of something missing, has become to them. And they say, I know we are being spiritually guided. So this can also talk about, again, that idea of full circle that this person has come, that a stance of ending things, of being blocked off, that this is being loosened. This is being replaced by an energy of openness. They're seeing a lot of signs about you as well, and starting to really follow their intuition, follow these internal nudges. Again, maybe doing that from, a very kind of quiet space, a very cloaked space, kind of behind behind the scenes, not talking about this with a lot of people, you know, really kind of preserving this within to really plan and to, you know, figure out what is necessary, what do they need to do in order to present themselves in a fresh energy to you, in order to, you know, really meet kind of the guardedness or the woundedness that you might have face on, to courageously work through these things, to rebuild the trust, to earn your trust again. Somebody who recognizes they can't just, you know, come back in and pick up as things were. It won't just be business as usual. That to, you know, reimagine this connection involves a reimagining of who they are as well, on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, a mental level, a physical level. They also say, don't think because we don't talk, I don't want you because I do. So they are thinking about reaching out. They could be communicating with you telepathically, sending you loving vibrations, and energetically speaking the words that they are unable to really deliver in a 3D sense at this point in time. This also really ties into this idea of blocked communication and how those numbers might have been unblocked, or they're considering doing this, you know, really kind of looking at you in other ways, kind of fake profiles, and, you know, just trying to kind of touch on your energy in some way, shape, or form that is, you know, it's still that element of kind of sneakiness that they are understanding needs to kind of be moved beyond in order to really create change in a meaningful way in this circumstance. And they also say, I'm planning to surprise you. So you may hear from this person very unexpectedly, kind of out of the blue. All of a sudden, you know, those unread messages get a response, or, you know, you get a phone call from them. For some of you, they show up, you know, at your door. You kind of run into them out in public somewhere. And it's this element too of a surprise, being this person in a very changed energy, the stance that they take to you, the words that they speak, the feelings that are expressed. They are planning on delivering something that has been long awaited, to present themselves in kind of this uplifted vibration, with evidence that they have closed out these cycles, not just words and promises that they're going to do it, that it'll happen, you know, maybe excuses that the timing isn't right, which might have been kind of an obstacle between you in the past, but somebody who is wanting to surprise you with some concrete changes that they have made, and a very direct ability and willingness to commit to this connection, to work on rebuilding the foundation between the both of you, maybe starting off as friends first, to kind of gradually open the door to something new romantically. So I'm going to take a look at this card now for you, group 3. This is the guidance from Spirit about the situation. And it says, playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the greatest healer. So this is really that confirmation of somebody who is wanting to deliver some kind of an apology, wanting to show up in changed energy, to change the circumstances between you, to work toward healing a lot of these wounds that were created that both of you have really just been sitting with. This feels like two people who have really been missing each other across the distance. You know, pride and ego and inability have really kind of operated as these wedges between the both of you. But this is really, you know, talking about kind of this lightness that is on the horizon, that this connection really has a deep possibility to move out of this kind of heavy and shadowy energy into something more uplifting, into something very lighthearted. With this person, if they reach out, it might be something, you know, just very kind of surface, starting off slow, starting off small, kind of rebuilding the bonds of friendship with you between you first, and Spirit really encouraging you to do that, you know, to just really bask in their energy if they reapproach, and if you feel inclined, following your intuition first and foremost, to kind of entertain this person back in any way, shape, or form. But to take things slowly, to take things gradually, not feel the need to rush in or figure it all out at once, but just really take it day by day, and, you know, enjoy the moment that you are in fully at this point in time. As painful as this might be, as you know, kind of as much as discomfort might sort of fill the both of you in this kind of separation of circumstance that, or in the circumstances of separation, that you know, a remedy to that is really focusing on other things that bring you a sense of joy, other things that are going well for you at this point in your life. And by doing that, you help to raise your own vibration, which makes you more of an open conduit for vibrations that are a match to that, either within this person or other experiences in your life that can fill you with that sense of light, rather than adding to kind of the distress or the disharmony that you might have been sitting in. So I'm going to get some initials for you now, group 3. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got F, N, V, T, R, O, W, X, K, M, U, C, and Z. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. When you do that, it helps the video to reach others who might resonate with these messages, get some kind of peace or confirmation with what came through in the reading, and it also helps my channel to grow, so I deeply appreciate that as well. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.